Break it up and try and try and try. I think that's Pink. It's like the second time I've made this video. Yeah. So I just wanted to pop in on here and share another testimony from a reading I did for Gayla. If you have watched Gayla's reading, it's in my YouTube channel. You just have to scroll. It is remarkable. It's amazing. Gayla connects with star beings and cosmic family from the stars. And then also connects with a grandmother that was very much like a mother to Gayla. And so many things came out of that reading. And at the time, there was so much information coming through. I remember Gayla really just trying to take it in. And that happens a lot in readings. People often are just like, yeah, this makes sense. I just can't tell you right now how. I'm like, okay. But I always ask for validation afterwards and for feedback from everyone I read for. So Gayla wrote me feedback, and this is what Gayla said. I just think is remarkable after the reading. So Gayla writes, I'm going to gush forever about this reading with Ash. If you're thinking about having a reading done with them, please do. Prepare for it to be life-changing. During my reading, I felt incredibly affected and touched when I heard how my grandma, who came through, who died in 2015, has been a witness of my life from the spirit realm. My grandmother said she knows I've been through a lot here in the human realm, and it was profoundly validating to hear that she knows life here has been difficult for me, and how proud she is that I persisted. She also said she sees how I have worked so hard to heal and nurture myself in ways that parental roles were not able to do. Another impactful part of the reading for me was when I was reassured that the signs I see around me in nature, that our spirit and ancestral presence showing up for me, that they are in fact very real. It was so sweet to hear that my ability to trust my heart is a major gift that I have and can share with others. Lastly, my grandmother asked that I encourage my grandfather, her husband, who is still alive, still here in the physical world, to get checked out by a doctor. No joke. I went to see my grandfather later that day after my reading, and he had just had a medical emergency happen. Wild. It was a major blessing to feel her presence with us as we got him through a week of healthcare gymnastics before he and his health were finally restored. Going into this reading, I would say I was pretty open to whatever came up during it. Honestly, I mainly wanted to feel a deep connection to my grandma's spirit. And that is exactly what happened, but even more magical than I could have imagined. The biggest shift since this reading has been in spirit and emotion. I've been experiencing an overwhelming sense of peace. It's the kind of peace that comes from feeling you have belonging and support beyond what our limiting human capacity can see. Moving forward in my life, I have a revitalized sense of self-empowerment and purpose, which I will be working with to keep expanding, fighting, and loving my way through this lifetime. Sending immense gratitude and blessings to you, Ash, for offering these readings and sharing your lovely and vast energy with the world in this way. XOXO, Gayla. Yeah, I just have so many chills. I don't know if y'all have chills, but I have chills, and I gave the reading. Yeah, reading for Gayla was amazing and profound, and there were so many things that came through. And I have to be honest, I never know why I'm saying something or what is coming through, and I never can connect it myself. That's for the person to really connect to. But when her grandmother was telling me to tell Gayla tell your grandfather that he needs to go to the doctor, so just get checked out. Don't be worried, just go. I don't give medical advice. I don't tell people to do things like that, right? That's not my role. I'm not an MD. I'm not licensed or certified in that at all. But when spirits bring it through, I have to bring it through. And if it's of importance for the person to know and it aids them in some way, that's important. So the fact that that information came through and Gayla had no idea where to place that, was like, okay, like, no idea. Like, my grandfather last time I checked was fine. And then right after the reading, Gayla wrote me and said that he had had a huge medical episode and they had to rush him to the emergency room and care for him and help him through a week. And he's back on his feet now. But he had something he had to get taken care of and checked out on. It just wasn't feeling right, just like their grandmother said. So it's just incredible. It's just incredible. I'm going to sit with that for a while, that one. And it just shows you the power, right? The power, the magic, and almost without words, what spirit can do, what they can show me, what they can foretell that's coming. I mean, so much. And again, it's not something that's controllable. Not everyone gets shown everything. And some things aren't meant to come through at that time, even if I see them, right? So the nuance there is something I don't even understand, but I just trust it. I know that if I'm shown something and then really pushed to say it, I say it. And I never speak it out of fear. It's always out of, like, just casual. Go get that checked out, just go check that out. And then the person is like, wow, so glad I did that. So just thanking Gayla's grandmother for her immense spirit and love and care, and Gayla for how incredible of a human being they are, and their love and their heart and their tenderness and their laughter. This was truly an honor to read for Gayla and to facilitate this conversation and this reconnection of the two of them and of the three of them, really. Whenever we think like, our loved ones are just somewhere else, it's like, no, they're here. If they have loved ones who are here, they're still kind of teetering around this realm. They can go other places, but there's something that pulls their heart, right? And the heart, not very physical, but more energetic, right? The heart has energy. It beats out energy. You can feel that radiating, right? When you see someone you love, when you see someone who's in pain, or you can feel it in your heart, right? When something scares you, there's an energy there. There's a power. And so I find that loved ones who still have loved ones here who are crossed over, they are still a part of their lives. They're still knowing of everything intimately. They know the insides and outs of what's going on. They know your thoughts. They know what you struggle with. And there's no blame. There's no shame. There's no judgment. They're just there to support you and love you. So this was no exception, that Gayla's grandmother was still able to take care of her husband, even though she was no longer in physical form. And their love was immense. And that was something that came through the reading too. Their love for each other was so strong. They had been through so much and had so many children, and yet their love was so rich and deep, and so committed to each other. So I hope that this inspires you. I hope that it reminds you that our loved ones don't leave us, that they're a part of us, that they're here, but then they're there, but then they're everywhere all at once. There is no time, there is no space. And so the way that we think about things, our mind can't even handle it. Our mind can't even really comprehend the true expansiveness of the other side of these dimensions that are literally right here, not far away, right here, right? I feel inspired. I'm sending you all so much love, so much care, so much inspiration, some energy, and some magic that you might feel hear, witness, experience some magic in your day-to-day life this week. And I'll see you on the other side. Take care.